Hello, I'm Amy Zawi with the Jerusalem Connection Red Alert Report for Wednesday, October 24th, Hypocrisy, an Illustration. You may have heard in the news recently that an American student named Laura Alkazam was denied entry into the nation of Israel when she was on her way to study at Jerusalem's Hebrew University. Now, this happened because Israel has instituted a new policy, albeit controversial, that denies entry to people into Israel if they have been espousing anti-Israel or anti-Zionist rhetoric in the public space. Well, Laura is an ardent activist with BDS movements on her college campus and their activities, and has been known to denounce Israel and participate in activities that undermine her. Now, the policy that Israel has in state is controversial, and there are people on making reasonable questions to the policy that if it may perhaps deny freedom of speech or freedom of assembly or other kinds of human rights. However, I am not an expert on the details of this policy. I just know that credible people on both sides of the debate regarding it do exist. The point is that Miss Laura was denied entry about a week and a half ago into the nation of Israel, and it got some pushback. Now, the Guardian Guardian newspaper rather, out of the UK on October 11th, published a letter in support of Miss Laura and against the Israeli ministry. Simon Polsker composed this article and published it in the Guardian, and he noted that a letter was published signed by 300 academics condemning the denial of entry for Laura. And this, of course, is not a problem, as academics absolutely have the right to voice their opinion and to say why. Now, I will quote a little bit of the letter. Denying entry to foreign students based on political beliefs or ethnic heritage is an attack on academic freedom. As professors who are committed to academic freedom and as humans who reject all forms of racial profiling, we are calling on the Israeli authorities to permit Laura Alkazam to enter Israel and pursue her studies. Now, this, of course, is just a fine statement to have, and it is certainly debatable, but a valid position to start with. Now, in this list of 300 signatories, I have not examined all of them, but I can probably make a safe bet that most of them had this earnest concern that there was a problem here with some freedoms, academic freedoms as one of them. However, some of the signatories are a little bit out of place, and they include Chaim Bershith, Moshe Makover, Hillary Rose, Stephen Rose, and Jonathan Rosenhead, just to name a few. All of these professors who signed this letter are ardent supporters of the BDS campaign in the United Kingdom, and they are advocates for boycotting Israel in the academic world. And so that's why this is such an odd thing, and it does reveal a little bit of hypocrisy. Hillary and Stephen Rose led a call for a moratorium on all European research collaboration with Israel in an open letter that they published in 2002. They later participated in other campaigns that supported the Palestinian cause and a Palestinian campaign for the academic and cultural boycott of Israel. Jonathan Rosenhead is currently the chair of an organization that is the British Campaign for the Universities of Palestine. And Moshe Makover is a veteran anti-Zionist activist who was actually suspended from the UK Labour Party because he was accused of Holocaust revisionism. Bershith also has a long and sordid history with anti-Israel activities. And so just some examples of the signatories of this letter, it just seems a bit insincere that they are decrying some sort of breach of academic integrity or academic freedom when Laura was denied entry. It is actually a little bit odd for me because I thought these particular professors should perhaps compose a letter to Miss Laura Alkazam, asking her why on earth she would be choosing the university that is in Israel to begin with. In fact, they should be boycotting her stance to go to Israel to study in that institution. You would think that would be their valid position based on their activities in the last decade or so. You know, I didn't see them suggest to her one of the other universities that she might be able to find in Gaza or Ramallah or the West Bank. So the point here is you can't have it both ways. You cannot call for a boycott of Israel's academic institution and then demand that students get let in to go there even when they pose perhaps a legitimate threat, or even if that's debatable. It simply makes no sense. I think these signatures should have wrote Laura the letter and asking her why she's choosing to go there, and maybe ask her to choose from one of the universities that are available in Gaza and Ramallah. Well, I don't know the status of those universities in particular. I do know if you Google universities in Gaza and the West Bank, some names do come up. BDS is quite fickle. It seems like a general theme for those who seek an agenda rather than a truth to just start screaming about anything that's going on as long as it points a finger at somebody that they disagree with or don't like. Even if that thing they're screaming about and against was something just moments ago they were screaming for, if it served the purpose of their conversation at that point. Please be on the lookout for outcries on various topics, and then dig deep and find out what the issue really is. What is the outcrier really crying about? And the one thing you can be assured of, if you do this diligently, is that truth will always be consistent. Shavua Tov, and have a great week.